All right, we're going to get some agendas passed around so everybody knows what we're doing today. We've got about an hour here with Bree and Alicia. So I just want to say welcome everybody to Revolution, Iowa. We are so glad you're here. There are clipboards coming around, so there's one per side. Please, we know that you registered and all that stuff, but we want to know what you're interested in. And the fact that you came to this workshop lets us know a little bit about what you're interested in. So, without further ado, I'm going to introduce Joe Fagan here, one of our members and one of the co-founders of CCI.
Yes, we might as well get started here. My name is Joe Fagan. I'm one of the founders of Iowa CCI. There's a lot of growth in political energy. It feels like, for me, that it's sometimes hard to know where we fit in. We want to move forward with justice and making our country better and our community better. And so how do each of us fit into this? And I kind of feel a little bit like what in the 1960s and the early 1970s, before we began CCI. And I was involved in certain social justice issues here and there, and trying to get in there to do something that would make a difference. Trying to get in, doing stuff like, these are things I actually was involved in, taking kids to Loras College to see high school kids, to hear Father Jim Groppe speak of the racism in Milwaukee, and along with a lot of others, pushing the Waterloo City Council to build affordable low-income housing in the city. And like spreading the gospel of Martin Luther King. That's what it's about. And I could see injustice almost every place, because it was right out there. And but what could I do about it? And I was really searching for opportunities to do justice stuff. And then something really big happened to me in 1974. Father Gene Kutch and Father Tom Romberg went to Notre Dame to attend a conference on community organizing. And while they were there, they were very impressed. They met this organizer named Larry Bear from Chicago. And they were really so impressed, they wanted to bring him to Waterloo, which they did. And about 12 of us in Waterloo got together and talked about it. And it's what can we do? Can we do organizing here in Waterloo? And maybe all of Iowa. And we said, yeah, we can do it. We can do it. But I begged them wanted to do it. To go to Chicago and do street organizing for several months and learn how to do it and come back and do it. And so I went, there was about 12 of us in Waterloo. And so Jim Thomas and I went to Chicago in 1975, and for 3 months door knocked in Chicago, finding out what the issues were, what people would want to do about it. And then we came back and went door to door in Waterloo, had one-on-one conversations day after day, and in due time, CCI was born. And I felt like, this is who I am. And today I think all of us want to do something to really, change our community, our state, the whole country. So that was then, but today is now for all of us. And what we kind of think, where is my place in today's movement? How do we make our voices count? How do we make our voices count together? And that's kind of where I think a lot of us are. And so, but we're in the right place today because we have two organizing masterminds here to explain how we got to this political movement and what we can do to use our voices more effectively. Alicia Garza, as we know, we heard her this morning, is co-founder of Black Lives Matter and the Special Projects Director at the National Domestic Workers Alliance. And Bray Carlson is the deputy to the directors at National People's Action, that used to be, and a guru of the long-term movement. So let's welcome them one.
Joe Fagan should never be calling me a mastermind organizer. It's a mastermind organizing room right there. So I'm the deputy director of People's Action, but I am much more proudly a sustaining member of, that's why I got the Lorax hat, CCI Action Fund. We are going to dive right in because this is a pretty tight time, but what we want to do today is spend a little bit of time talking about how we got to this moment in our country as a way of understanding what it's going to take to build something different. And there's not a whole lot more to say than what Alicia laid out this morning, but it's hard when you think that the economy is a force of nature, when you think that it goes up and down in some fashion that's outside of the control of people, to understand what's possible. Well, we know that's not true, right? Right. We have the ability to change it, right? So what we want to do is dig into the mechanics of it, and then we want to talk about what everyone in this room can do to be a part of the movement that's going to take it back and turn it into an economy that serves, that exists for, that supports the health and well-being and the full breadth of the beauty of people. That's the economy we need. Yes? Yeah. All right. That's it?
Well, all right. Alrighty, y'all. So we have some fun stuff planned for us today. And what we're going to do is an exercise that was originally designed by an organization called SOUL, the School of Unity and Liberation in Oakland. Check it out. So let's just start off by talking about what does the economy have to do with me? Yeah? Okay, so this is a stand-up, sit-down exercise. For those of you who, for whatever reason, would prefer not to stand up and sit, you can just go like this, okay? So it's really easy. I'm just going to ask you a couple questions, and if that question applies to you, I want you to either stand up or raise your hand. Cool? Real basic. All right. Let's start off here. We'll practice. Okay? Raise your hand or stand up if the sky is blue.
Go sky!
Go sky. Okay. See, that was pretty simple, right? All right, so it's about to get a little harder. All right, so before we get into this, I said, what does the economy have to do with us? And we should start by talking about what is an economy. So, can somebody read this? If you can see it?
Yeah.
The way that the resources are produced, distributed, and consumed.
The way that resources are produced, distributed, and consumed. Okay? So, how resources come to be. Okay? How resources are given out and divvied up. And how people consume those resources. That's what an economy is. It's a system. Okay? So let's talk about what this current kind of economy has to do with us. So please raise your hand or stand up if somebody in your family has lost their job in the last 5 years. Raise your hand or stand up. Look around. All right, take a seat. Raise your hand or stand up if you know someone who has had to go without basic things like electricity, food, water, and or heat because they couldn't afford it. Look around. Okay, take a seat. Raise your hand or stand up if you or someone you know has not been to the doctor or the dentist in more than a year.
Including yourself?
Yes.
Absolutely. That's somebody you know. Okay, take a seat. Yeah, you're getting some exercise this morning. Yep. Raise your hand or stand up if someone you know can't find affordable housing. All right, take a seat. Raise your hand or stand if you or your family knows what it's like to always be worrying about how you're going to pay your bills. Look around. Okay. Raise your hand or stand up if you've ever been embarrassed because your family did not have enough money to buy you the things that were more popular or trendy.